water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the brown boy Wonder, master of all four elements, could stop them. But when the podcasting world needed him the most, he vanished. 100 years passed, and my brother and I discovered the new brown boy Wonder, an airbender named Abrar. And although his airbending skills are great, he has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. But I believe Abrar can save the podcasting world.
Oh no! No! What happened?
I think I swallowed something. Hold on. Oh, okay.
You have to leave this in.
No. Hold on.
I can't stress enough that it was as soon as it started recording, he started choking.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Welcome to the Brown Warner podcast. We are back with Avatar: The Last Airbender season 3. We're going to cover episodes 7 to 11. That's a good Slurpee story. But let me introduce my guest here. He is ripped Uncle Iroh. It's Skyler. Skyler, how are you doing today?
Last time I was Uncle Iroh, now I'm prison ripped Uncle Iroh.
Oh yeah.
Doing my one-arm pull-ups. I'm feeling strong.
Oh yes. But yeah, let's get into it. Episode 7, The Runaway.
Yeah. Continuing the trend of this episode feels like filler until it doesn't.
Yeah.
This one is this actually, it's funny when you start up this episode, it gives you like a recap of season 2 when Katara and Toph were like fighting.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, why are we getting a recap for that? That was so long ago. And it's just to remind us that they fight because they're gonna fight in this one too.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to train Aang, get him ready to fight the Fire Lord during the invasion, and Katara and Toph basically just end up fighting each other because they're mad at each other.
Yeah, they hate each other.
They start mud wrestling for a second.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, calm down.
Toph, Sokka, Aang sees the old, that game where you put the thing in the cup and then you move it around. What is that? Is that called something?
It is, but I'm blanking on what it's called. Go ahead and keep talking while I try to figure it out.
Yeah, so they found this little game there in the local area they're at.
It's the Shell game.
Shell. Okay, I never heard of that then.
I think that's what it's called. You just have to find out where the thing is. Yes.
Yeah, so the Shell game, they saw the Shell game where the locals were playing, and Toph uses her earthbending to scam the Fire Nation out of their funds.
Well, this one guy, and to be fair, he was scamming everyone else, because
that's true.
He was using sleight of hand to be like, where's the thing? Find the thing under the cups. Can you find the thing? But he, sleight of hand, moves the ball out from under the cup, so it's impossible to win. It was a pebble, so she uses her earthbending to make it not leave. She pulls it back in before it can go, so they win a lot of money and then just run off with it. And this starts a trend where they're just like, let's use Toph's earthbending to scam people.
I mean, it's a good technique.
If I remember correctly, they specifically say they're going out of their way to only scam other scammers.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're robbing innocent people. It's just like carny games and crooked people. At one point, they have Toph pretend like she just got hit by a carriage, and this
Yeah.
rich guy comes out and he tries to run away, but Sokka's pretending to be a cop, and so he gets the guy to bribe him.
They're, they got a lot of things planned out. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
they're doing some ne'er do well shit. And Katara, the fun police, says stop doing that.
yes,
And
Mother Katara is here.
everyone calls her the fun police, and she doesn't like that. Uh, and so, yeah, this episode is all about Katara being the mother of the group,
Yeah.
and people calling her the mother of the group, and her saying she doesn't want to be the mother of the group, not in the responsibility sense, but in the everyone calls her no fun. So
Mhm.
at a certain point, like she spent the entire episode fighting with Toph and telling them not to do scams.
I mean, I agree with Katara. I mean, you can't scam
She's
people.
right. She is right. It's funny. I think when watching this, I remarked on how like I feel like Aang of last season wouldn't have been down with this, but ever since he died and came back to life, he just doesn't care anymore.
That's true.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Oh,
yeah. Go ahead.
um, Sparky Boom Man. That's what
Oh
Aka
yes,
calls Third Eyed Man. That's a good name.
yeah.
Um, Also you see Sokka. He bought a hawk.
He did with their ill-gotten gains. He goes out and buys one of the Fire Nation messenger birds, and he calls him Hockey.
Yeah, Tony Hawk.
Ooh. um. So yeah, they've been scaring people enough that there are like little wanted posters of
Yeah.
Toph, like a little sketch of Toph up all around town. And Sokka walks up to Toph and is like, "Toph, look at this. You know what this is?" And she's like, "No, but it sounds like paper." Like people keep trying to show her things all throughout this episode. Like
Yes.
even later when Katara finds, because they decide to hide this from Katara, but of course she finds it. And Katara is like, "Toph, what is this?" And she's like, "I don't know. I am blind."
I think they forgot. Sometimes they forget that she's blind.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, if you were hanging out with Daredevil all the time, you would forget he's blind too, because he doesn't act it.
No. No.
Um, yeah, so they continue their scams, and Katara's mad about it. But eventually, Katara's like, "You know what? I'll prove I'm fun. Toph, I'll pull a scam with you. Let's do a scam." And they tend like Katara's turning Toph over for the reward money. Like, haha, we're gonna take the reward money,
Yeah.
and then she'll just metal bend out of prison. But then it quickly turns out to be just a horrible, awful idea because Toph is put in a wooden prison, and as you mentioned, Sparky Boom Man shows up and takes Katara, and it's all a trap for Aang.
Yeah, the thing they're both trapped in a wooden cell, so they can't of course move it because it's not made out of wood. Not wood. Toph uses
The
earth
metal
bending.
bending.
Yeah, so she can't move the wood.
Yeah, but luckily, Katara comes up with a really good idea. Because she doesn't have any water, but she's getting a little sweaty.
A little bit.
So she works up a good enough sweat, takes like a little handful of sweat, and she starts hacking their way out of there with her smelly sweat bending. I don't want to tell you what I was thinking during this.
What you were thinking.
Well, I was thinking there's a really easy way. You don't even have to sweat. Just piss, dude.
Well, I mean that's not water though, is it? It's just
It,
waste.
it's the same as sweat though. Like it's just like liquid that is like waste and salt, body salt and nonsense.
maybe in the
No.
rated R version.
You think
they
I'm
use
some sort of
piss.
scientist? Sort of piss scientist?
No,
But
no,
no,
no.
so no, but I will say this. In a couple episodes from now, no, the next episode we will be talking about, there's certain bending about certain things that aren't water per se.
Yeah.
I think piss would have been a viable option. Now, sweat works. I'm not complaining, but I was definitely thinking, like, if it was me, I would have just pissed. Maybe she didn't
Well,
have to. That's fine.
well, before they did this scam with Katara, they kind of both apologized to each other.
Yeah.
Because they overheard each other, or at least Katara overheard Toph saying like, "Yeah, I mean, I no, I think Sokka said like, yeah, you don't have to be. Katara's just looking out for you." And Toph was like, my parents are dumb. Something
Yeah.
like that.
They fight like sisters.
Yeah.
They've traveled with each other long enough and they're good enough friends now that their fight may have been probably about as intense as when they fought the first time in the last season,
Hmm.
but they're good enough friends now that like it it was resolved fairly easily. Like they just talked and apologized, and they're sisters. We're a family here.
Yeah. They worked it out. Uh, they gave the Sparky Boom Man a new name, Combustion Man.
Yep, that's his I believe that's his official name when talking
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah, and then they escaped. And then Toph wants Katara to write a letter for her parents. They used hockey.
Yeah, I think an important thing to note before we move on from Combustion Man, one of the ways they escape him is he gets hit in the eye tattoo
Yes.
and it hurts him quite a bit, and then he tries to shoot his combustion ray and it blows up in his face. It hurts him. So
Yeah.
we now know his weakness, and it's as obvious as any Legend of Zelda bad guy. It's the big eye.
Yeah, it's like getting kicked in the nuts.
Ooh, low blow!
A big low blow. I do love low blows. If you know me for wrestling, I do love a good low blow. I don't know why I'm saying that.
Yes,
it's more of an
so
inside joke. Yeah. So that is.
yeah,
I do. Yeah, go ahead.
you were saying they came to the realization that Toph projecting anger or whatever, she misses her mom.
Yeah.
Long story short, she misses her mom. So Katara's like, "Let's write a letter to your mom. I'll write it for you. Let's do it." And then they put it on Sokka's his hockey, and hockey flies off to deliver it. And then Sokka says, "Where's hockey?" Because they didn't ask him. And Abrar, let me tell you right now, that hawk does
Yeah.
not come back.
No.
He's
just
gone.
just like the penguins.
Yeah, just like the penguins. I was watching this with a friend of mine, and he had a good point that he shared with me, where he said that's a Fire Nation bird. It flies into like an Earth Kingdom city, and they're gonna shoot it down.
Oh, that's sad.
Hockey might be dead.
Oh no, Tony
No,
Hockey.
let's assume that's not what happened.
Yeah,
He's fine.
yeah,
It's heartwarming. The letter got to Toph's mom. That's the good stuff.
that's good. That's good. I did like in the part where Toph and Katara were still mad at each other, and Sokka used Hockey,
Dang.
Hockey to send a message to Toph saying,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry." But then that didn't work because, of course, she cannot.
He sent the
Oh,
letter
Katara.
to Katara, and Katara
Yeah.
said, "I know this was you, Sokka. Toph can't write."
Yeah.
And
There we
then
go.
Aang, again, I'm telling you, Aang's been different ever since he died. Aang's like, "All right, well, let's send one to Toph and see if that works." And Sokka's like, I think we're gonna run into a similar problem.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff there. We did mention pretty much the interesting fact here. This is one of the many episodes where Sokka and Aang forget Toph is blind and cannot write.
Yep. What a shame.
Yeah, Aang is like Gandalf when he came back in Two Towers from the dead.
I think Gandalf was a little bit more put together when he turned into Gandalf the White, but
That's true. That's true. You have no power here. He took. Oh, and then he took off his robe like Uncle Iroh.
Oh, like Uncle Iroh. That's pretty good. I like that.
All right. Episode 8.
But they did part Aang from his walking stick. He got burned up.
Similar paths.
Now we're just talking about Lord of the Rings. We can't help ourselves.
It's a great trilogy. Episode 8, The Puppet Master.
Ooh, scary episode, Halloween episode.
Yeah, literally in a Halloween episode, or they're trying to recreate Are You Afraid of the Dark episode from Nickelodeon.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Starts with a campfire.
Yeah. Toph hears people screaming underground.
That's terrifying right there. Full stop. Like, get me out of here now. Like, you don't even have to say anything else.
Sounds like hell.
You hear people screaming underground.
That's not like Han Toph. I would be scared.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But they see, after that, they see an old woman.
Yeah, and then you see a witch. Done. I'm out of here. These woods have a witch. The Vavitch.
Yeah, it's literally a setup for a horror movie.
Movie.
The Vavitch. Oh, dude, that movie is bonkers.
It's good.
So the old woman's name Hama, and they were invited to her home. And I just want to say, why is Sokka sleeping with his ass up?
Man, he sleeps silly. Don't. What part was that?
It was like when they start settling in, and then they fell asleep, and then you just see that.
I'm gonna pull the episode up. Keep talking. I'm gonna look for this part. Sleeping. We're gonna see if Sokka's a certified freak or not.
Yeah, so we got the grandmas were freaks.
Momo's a freak from last season.
Oh,
Momo's the original freak.
Yeah, licking Toph's feet. This show is crazy. Hama, the old lady, reminds me of the grandma from The Visit, the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one.
I know the.
Then I won't. I already
know.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, is he sleeping with his behind up?
No, I can't find it.
It's there. You just gotta.
Is it when they're in the camp or at Hama's place?
When they first went to Hama's place.
All right. Keep going. I'm gonna let it run and see if it happens.
Yeah, so Sokka is snooping around the house. They found a lot of dolls. They also found a chest. And Hama said Hama found them. And they opened the chest, and it was an old comb.
All right, Sokka's sleeping in the bed. He doesn't have his ass up. What are you talking about?
Oh, you don't see it?
No.
Oh, maybe it's later on.
Okay.
Not sure.
All right.
It's somewhere.
Oh, wait. Oh, there it is.
There we go. Yes, it was the beginning. Yes.
All right.
You didn't catch that?
All right. Maybe Sokka is 50% freak, but that's all right.
Okay, so let's first of all let's list out the freaks.
Yeah, let's get that pen to paper.
So as that new song, "I'm a Nasty Girl," somebody's gotta match my freak.
Yeah, who's gonna match Sokka's freak?
Maybe Yui. I don't know. So we got Momo licking Toph's feet. We got the grandmas being freaky, from the Fire Nation, and then we got Sokka getting his ass up. So we got 3 freaks right now. And Avatar: The Last Airbender.
4. The grandmas are 2 for 1.
Okay, so 4. I mean, they're twins.
Well, yeah, all right.
3.
There-
So we got
yeah.
3.5. Okay, I'll count 4.
Three entries, but one's a tag team.
There we go. So we got those certified freaks from Avatar.
Those are the freaks.
Yeah. So Hama found
And
them.
let me just say, I'm not even when I say freak, that's not necessarily derogatory. I'm not saying it is a bad thing.
No.
Someone needs to match Sokka's freak.
Uh,
That's why the grandmas are always together because they match each other's freak.
oh no! Oh my god! All right. Enough free talk here. Hopefully Hama's not a freak.
You know what? Delete this episode. This is awful.
No. Let's go. I have to keep this in. I was coughing in the beginning of this episode.
Well, now that you said it, you have to leave that part in.
All right, I'll do that. I'll keep it in. All right. So Hama found them in the I think it was the attic, and they opened the chest, and it was an old comb of hers back in the day.
Ooh.
Hama grew up in the Southern Water Tribe. She's a waterbender.
Ooh. What a twist. I want to say when they because they're snooping around because Sokka's super sus. He thinks Hama's real sus. So they get to the attic and they get this little chest. And he's like, it's locked. And Toph's like, I got this. And she pulls off. She earthbent. I don't know. She bent the space rock into like a little armband, and so she like bends it again and forms it into like a little makeshift key and starts picking the lock. And I think that's really cool.
That space rock is very helpful.
Yeah. Also, I really like I mean, this isn't gonna in a podcast medium. It's not gonna help, but I really like the face that everyone makes when she actually picks the lock.
Or what face does she make?
She gives like a smug thumbs up, and Sokka and Aang give like a shocked like ooh face, like a soy jack face. Here I can show you. Anyone listening is gonna have to look for it themselves.
Sorry guys, but this is only for me.
Let me see here. Yeah, here it is. I really like
I see. I'm looking at the first picture too. Little Aang there.
Oh yeah, I sent the live action Aang. Aang.
Aang. But yeah, so she was explaining her backstory, Hama. The Fire Nation invaded her home. She was pretty much the last one left.
It's very similar to, as they say in this episode, very similar to what happened to Katara's mom. Fire Nation was rounding up all the waterbenders, and that's what they did to Hama.
Yeah.
She goes through the whole story about how she and a bunch of the waterbenders were fighting them off, but they slowly one by one got picked off and captured, and then they put her in jail.
Yeah, big time. She pretty much, of course, she hates the Fire Nation for this reason. Makes sense. But after that,
she's like, Katara, since now I'm a waterbender, you want me to show you some cool waterbending things that I know? Trust me, it's cool. And Katara, of course, is like, yeah, that sounds neat. So they go out to a big field of flowers, and it has never been more clear to see someone and be like, that's a witch. She is a witch. This is spoilers if you don't know what's gonna happen. But this is the most evil witch I've ever seen in anything. Because she's like, Katara, watch this. You don't even have to have water on hand to bend it. You can take water from other things. And she does a big swoosh, and she takes all the water out of these surrounding flowers, which kills the flowers dead. Everything is just dying around her, and she has all this water now. And she's like, see, that's pretty cool. And Katara's like, that's cool. little scary and maybe a little evil though, but that's cool. Um,
I mean, it's a power she never seen before. Might be handy. Uh, but there are missing villagers.
yeah. The rest of the gang, Aang, Sokka, Toph, they're going around town meeting other people who are all like, full moon's coming. This town is scary and people are disappearing, so we're boarding up and we're not. You should not be out and be careful. There's a witch around here, we think. And they're like, I wonder who the witch is. And uh, yeah, that's when we learned that nobody is gonna match Hama's freak because she. We get the rest of her little backstory, which is while she was in the prison, the Fire Nation prison, she realized that the full moon makes waterbenders more powerful. Therefore, she
Yeah.
can do more powerful things. And she's like, you know what? You know what has a lot of water in it? The human body.
Yeah.
And so she's in her cell, and she sees this rat. She's like, I'm going to try to bend this rat from the inside.
Damn.
And she learns how to do it, and she gets really good at it. And then one day, the full moon hits, and she starts bending the guard from the inside to come unlock her cage, making her the first, I believe, first ever bloodbender.
Yeah, so I didn't know that this can happen, but now I know. That there's only 4 elements, but there's a 5th element,
Well,
bloodbending.
it's technically waterbending.
Waterbending, but evil.
It's it's one of the least okay things anyone can ever do.
I'll say
It-
it's like a vampire type of a maneuver. Bloodbend sounds like a vampire thing.
yeah, it's scary. Also, watching this episode makes my veins feel weird. I don't like it.
Oh.
It's like my I feel like squeamish in my arms whenever I watch her, in the sound effects in particular.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. It reminds me like was there a movie where someone does that? Like they control someone's body? It's not a movie.
do you mean the end of Jigsaw?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't Jigsaw. That was Spiral. The end of Spiral.
Oh yeah, then when they're twisting.
With Sam Jackson on the little marionette thing.
Yes, there we go. That's what it reminds me of.
Okay.
Jigsaw is a bloodbender?
He deals with a lot of blood in his line of work, so yes. I say Jigsaw is an honorary bloodbender.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Aang and that side of the crew all discover the people under the mountain, under the hill. They're all chained up inside a little cave, and they're like, "It was the witch," and they're like, "Hama, we gotta stop her." They show up to try to help Katara, and then Hama starts bloodbending Sokka and Aang.
Yeah.
She's the most evil woman. Like I'm going through like stills of the episode still, and she's so scary looking. Her face.
I mean, I agree with Hama in a sense of like, in a sense, oh, sorry, hot take. In a sense of like, trying to rebel. Of course, like, you hate the Fire Nation, what they did to you, your whole village. But this is not the way to do it. This is,
Okay, yeah. No, so she is justified in hating the Fire Nation, but not justified in
the way she does it.
Borderline black magic stuff she's doing. Also, she's not kidnapping soldiers. She's kidnapping random villagers.
Yeah.
It's not like she's actually getting back at people who did stuff to her.
Just random people, which is not good. pretty much you're doing what the Fire Nation is doing to you did to
Yeah.
you, so it's doesn't make sense. But yeah, so Hama is bending Katara.
Yeah, she was bending Katara, but Katara is good enough at bending that she was able to stave her off. Like she outbended herself, maybe? I don't know. But that's when Sokka and Aang show up and Hama starts bending them. She's about to make Sokka kill Aang with his sword.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she stops because in a moment of panic, last thing she could think to do, Katara stopped Hama by bloodbending her. Which this is when Hama defeated and captured, but she does the Mickey Rourke and Iron Man 2. You lose. You lose. She said, I win because I passed on bloodbending to someone else. Ha ha ha.
Damn.
And that's how the episode ends, with Katara realizing she did something monstrous out of desperation and crying. End of episode.
It's a good
Harrowing.
Halloween episode. It's a good Halloween episode.
Fucking terrifying.
Yeah, Katara is a bloodbender now.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the end of the episode. The interesting fact for this episode is I don't know why he didn't do anything with his elements, but Aang does not bend any element in this episode.
He forgot.
He could have used it against Hama, I guess.
No, he forgot. No, because
Yeah.
as soon as he showed up, he started getting blood bent.
That's true. That's true. How can you get out of that? You gotta ask Jigsaw.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that was episode 8. Episode 9. This I feel like this was kind of a filler, but this is a needed filler.
On the Aang side, it's mostly filler. On the Zuko side, we'll talk about it.
All right. This is episode 9, Nightmares and Daydreams.
Oh yes.
So
they finally
go ahead.
arrive at the rendezvous where they're supposed to meet the rest of the invasion force. It's on this little island outside, like the Fire Nation Palace Island, the capital. And there's a bunch of fluffy sheep, and they're just like, all right, we're gonna wait here. We got a couple days. Everyone just get some good rest. But Aang is a little nervous, and he cannot get good rest. On the first night, he's having a dream that he's Goku.
Yeah.
And he shows up he's like, I'm gonna fight you, Fire Lord, I'm Goku. And this big comical Fire Lord cartoon man is like, how can you fight me if you're not wearing any pants? And then Aang is like, oh no, I'm not wearing pants. He's having a, classic nightmare.
I don't get those nightmares, do you?
I don't think I've ever had a nightmare where I showed up somewhere without pants. No.
Aang is a little freak.
Mostly as an adult, I have nightmares about working retail.
Oh, that was not a nightmare for me. I was doing that. But yeah.
I know.
You see Aang is kicking around the bush because he can't sleep after that first stream.
Yeah, he was literally kicking a bush.
Yeah, kicking around the bush.
Yeah,
Aang,
he's sweating fighting the Fire Lord. He doesn't think he's ready, so he's having nightmares. That's his whole side of the episode. He keeps having various dreams. In the next dream, he's dressed like Naruto.
Yeah.
Like literally, he's even running like him. Well, Naruto never wore chains like that I can remember, but
he was also doing a math test too.
Yeah, he showed up and he was like,
I was not
like, I'm
prepared.
here to fight you, Fire Lord. And Fire Lord's like, well, you have to do the surprise math test. And he's like, oh no.
I hate that. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, and so everyone's trying to get Aang to relax. Everyone's trying various things like we need to make him chill out so he can get some sleep. Katara creates like a sauna for him, and that doesn't work. And Toph tries to use earthbending to massage him, and that just hurts him, so it doesn't work. His nightmares get crazier and crazier to the point where like he's having illusions of like Appa and Momo talking to him.
Yeah. Momo's talking and Appa speaking. I mean, that was also they were fighting too. Appa versus Momo. The Love Guru was there.
The Love Guru was there. He did show up. I love when he's talking to Katara and he clearly drifts off mid conversation, and that becomes a dream, and he starts like macking on her.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Baby, you're my forever girl."
Yeah.
And then he snaps up and he's just like, not even looking at her.
Didn't he kiss her?
In the dream, he did.
Yeah. They were also doing some hot yoga, Katara and Aang, I think, in that sauna.
Yeah.
But it's not that yoga from In a Violent Nature movie.
Oh, the Mortal Kombat fatality.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
That was, you know what? Let's take a quick tangent to talk about that movie In a Violent Nature. It has nothing to do with Avatar. But that was one of the most interesting theater experiences I've ever had in my life, of watching somebody walk around for like 5 straight minutes and then stand around for another 5 minutes, and then someone is killed, sometimes very brutally.
Yeah.
And then back to walking for 5 minutes, walking some more, 5 minutes, walking around, stop and look, kill someone. All right, back to walking through the woods. It was insane. I was laughing the whole time, but I had fun.
I mean, if you pick up a controller,
I'm sure that movie pissed a lot of people off with how much just walking around there was.
There was a lot of walking, but
with no talking.
It was good scenery though. It was good cinematography ish.
Yes.
Kinda. It was a good movie. All right, back to Avatar here. Aang said the Fire Lord is the baddest man on the planet. Isn't that Mike Tyson?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Didn't Tyson just have like surgery?
Yeah, he did.
That's why the Jake Paul fight got pushed back.
Yeah, it did. Like in November.
That fight's gonna be such a scam. I don't have faith.
It's gonna be
everyone in the world wants to see Tyson mash him into pudding, but it's just I don't think it's gonna play out that way.
Get your tickets now. It's at the AT&T Stadium.
That's at the AT&T Stadium?
Yeah.
That's here?
Yeah, it's here in Dallas.
Oh my god. I will not give any money to any of the Pauls. No, thank you.
Oh no, definitely not. But you could just watch it on Netflix. I don't know why I'm sponsoring this, but
stop telling people how to watch it. Stop.
7 p.m. No, so Aang is his third dream was like a nightmare, like literally a nightmare. But at the end, the gang helped Aang with a nice bed, and Aang's last dream was Ozai. Well, he was not wearing pants. So
he turned the tables.
Tables have turned for Ozai.
Essentially, the way that they got him to chill out was everyone got around him and was like, Aang, we think you're sweating because you think you're not ready. But we think you're ready. You're ready, dude. You're great. You're awesome. And he's like, okay. And then he got a good night's sleep.
Yeah, you gotta not cheer him up, but you gotta give him good inspirational motives, you saying like, man, you got this. And then he fell asleep. But Zuko, on the other end,
side.
Zuko is getting the royal treatment.
Yeah. He's got servants doing whatever he wants. He's got like Fire Nation fans all screaming outside the palace for him. He's got people carrying him around in palanquins, and he's invited to sit in the war room next to his dad. And he says it's everything he ever wanted, but he says it in a way where it's like it's not doing it for him. It's not what he wants now. Because his
No.
dad's kind of an asshole.
Yeah. Zuko was not invited to a war meeting.
I think that's BS too, because what happens is like he wasn't invited or he wasn't told to come, and he's like, why am I not supposed to be there? And then Azula's like, oh, I'm sure you are. And he's like, well, were you invited? He's like, of course, I'm the princess. It's like, oh, you bitch. But then the day of it happens, and then someone comes up to his house or whatever, and he's like, Prince Zuko, everyone's at the meeting waiting for you. And he's like, oh, really? First I've heard of it. Fucking tell me next time, how about? But that's
Yeah.
besides the point.
But Zuko is called to be in the meeting by his dad. And that's it. Right?
Yeah, like I was saying, it's just he's got everything he ever wanted, but it's not hitting the spot.
Yeah.
Which
He
he-
is not feeling it.
He might need to make a change.
We'll find out. But I do have an interesting fact for this episode. Not really. We kind of covered it. Aang dressed up as Goku in the Dragon Ball series, wearing
Yeah.
orange clothes with a belt and a large spiky dark hair.
Yeah, he was Goku in the first one. In the second one, I said Naruto because he had the headband and
Yeah.
and he ran like him. Something about the rest of that outfit makes me think that there's like other inspirations kind of thrown in that I'm not quite sure of, but and then there's a point where he's daydreaming that Momo and Appa are fighting, and Appa's wearing like a big samurai suit,
Yeah.
and he's wielding multiple swords. At one point, he's wielding 3 swords. That might be a One Piece reference because there's a character in that does that.
Ah.
Yeah, it's kind of like it reminds me of what back in season 1 with that bar that had all the Street Fighter characters.
Right.
I think they just decided like let's just do some anime references in this one.
It's neat. It's good references. It'd be weird if he was dressed up as like SpongeBob.
What, do you mean just like a polo shirt and brown pants, or do you mean like actual square pants? What do you mean?
I don't know, like a square head.
If he had a square head, yeah, that would be weird.
All right. And this was also like 4 days before the invasion. Forgot to mention that.
Yep.
The
invasion's
all right.
happening. Speaking of the invasion.
Speaking of the invasion, episode 10 of season 3, The Day of the Black Sun.
Here's our 2-parter. The rest of the invasion force finally shows up and meets up with everybody. Let's run down everyone who's here.
Sure.
So meeting Aang and the gang, we've got Hakoda and Bato.
I want to say Bato got that soul patch.
Did he?
Someone got a soul patch.
No.
Oh, go ahead.
Their dad had like a chin strap thing going on.
No, I know who it is. Just run down the guys.
Oh no, I remember who it is too. The swamp benders show up.
Yes.
Including the guy that like was bending all the vines.
Yeah.
Haru was here.
Yeah, from season 1.
And
Damn.
he's got a mustache now. He brought his dad and like some of the Earthbenders that were with.
Yeah, he also had like a little soul patch, like George Lopez in season 1
Yeah.
of the George Lopez show.
Okay, he had like a mullet in that part too, I think. He had,
Strange
like,
times.
long hair. We've got some of the wrestlers. We got the Boulder.
Mick Foley is back.
Foley is back, and then the big King Hippo guy is here too.
Yes, him. Yes.
We got the Mechanist, the inventor from the Air Temple, and his son in the wheelchair.
Yeah, that they didn't know that they were making Fire Nation stuff in that episode.
We've also got again, we saw them earlier, but Pipsqueak and the Duke from Jet's crew, they're here too.
I like their story. They were outlaws, rebels, but now you're like, all right, let's fight for a cause.
Yeah, let's fight for the cause the right way.
Yeah.
And then the Mechanist has gifted Aang with a new glider, a blue glider.
I want to say the Mechanist is Exhibit from Pimp My Ride.
Oh, because he pimped Aang's ride.
He pimped the glider. Yes,
That's
sir.
good. Yeah, he put a snack compartment in it.
I got was it Kajuzi? Not Kajuzi. The kazoo. Oh my god!
What the hell are you saying? Are you trying to cast a spell on me? Are you trying to say the word jacuzzi?
Jacuzzi, thank you.
Oh my god!
I had a little hiccup
you were
there.
scaring me. I thought you were having a stroke or something.
It sounds like it. But yeah, a jacuzzi. Was a good glider there. He should have that. But no, but he gave him food in his glider, like a food pocket.
Little snacks. Put Oreo cookies in there or something.
Mm.
Appa's got armor now. We saw Sokka kind of building it in the last episode.
Yes.
Everyone's gearing up, putting their armor on, and Aang finally shaves his head.
Yeah, it is time. After 10 episodes, he finally shaved his head.
Time to bring the arrow back.
Damn. This is like the Avengers or Infinity War. Is that type of
You know
vibe.
what? This episode does have the same vibe as Infinity War. All these characters that we've met a long time ago or whatever, all coming in for a big event, big battle. But hey, how did Infinity War end? I don't know. We'll see how this goes.
Well, Sokka is explaining to the whole group. Like he was like pretty much explaining the whole show. Like we found Aang in the ice.
Yeah. He
Never meta.
He failed at public speaking here.
Like what I just did with Jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Katara and Sokka, Dad explains the plan. Sokka will find his moment of truth soon.
Oh yes, he will. So their initial plan to how to start the assault is they get in these boats and they sail straight for the Palace Island. And as they're doing that, they're spotted, and Fire Nation puts up a big flaming net. They close the gate to the island. Basically, you're not getting in here. But this was accounted for as everyone hops into a new invention, submarines.
Yes.
Submarines with being like brought down and up by water bending. Which I want to point out, Sokka in season 1 helped invent like the world's first dirigible. Like he invented blimps.
Yes.
Or helped create blimps. And now he's invented or helped the Mechanist invent again the world's first submersibles, the first submarines in the world. Sokka has like his mark on history is there forever.
He is the Leonardo da Vinci of his time.
Kind of. I like that we see his original plans for a submarine. It was just like a little stick figure whale with people inside.
That's pretty much what that is.
Yeah, it worked though.
Did we pass over the big part where no, I think it's coming up. Aang. He finally kissed Katara.
Oh shit! He did it.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah,
After 2 seasons.
He's about to fly off and do his thing, and he just plants one on her.
And Katara was into it. So it's good. I'm glad he did it before this whole battle happens.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yes, sir.
Really quickly, let's switch over to Zuko and then Iroh.
Sure.
Zuko, I'm not going to touch on everything Zuko's doing / going to do, but just real quick, we see Zuko writing a letter. That he leaves for May.
Yeah.
And that's all we're going to talk about for him for now. But for Iroh, we still see Iroh in prison, and that guard is still there, and he's like, there's this other girl guard who is much nicer to Iroh. She's walking in with his food, and he's like, don't talk to the fat prisoner too long. He's stupid and fat and weak and dumb and fat. And she's like, oh, whatever, shut up. And she's like, hello, Iroh. Good to see you again. I brought you some extra rice. And he's like, oh, thank you. You're so kind. Don't come to school tomorrow.
Mm.
And she's like, haha, what? He's like, I'm being for real. Don't come here tomorrow. It would not be smart for you to be here tomorrow. And she's like, okay. And she does not come back tomorrow.
No. He is planning his escape.
We'll get to that.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Well, right now they are heading to battle. They're using the gang or the what do you call the good people here? Do we just call them the water tribe?
The invasion force.
Okay, the invasion force are using torpedoes to get to the Fire Nation. Is like Batman 66, where Penguin was using that to Batman.
Oh, and that dolphin jumped in the way.
Yeah, the rubber dolphin.
This is terrible. These submarines finally make it to the beach, and it is like the beaches of Normandy.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was. There's a lot going on. It's like Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, that's a good movie. Great, one of the greatest war movies. Sad too.
Yeah, I agree. So the submarines aren't the only tricks they have. They have these like cool little like centipede tanks. These Earth Kingdom centipede tanks that are able to like block off the fire attacks, and at one point we see one like roll over another like a Fire Nation tank and just completely crush it, and I'm like, that guy's dead. There's a guy in there. He's gone.
Yeah.
There was a handful of things like towers that like get blown up, and it's just like these people are dead.
It's a full out war.
It's a battle, man. It's a war. The dude, the swamp bender, shows up with a bunch of a seaweed kaiju, and I couldn't help but think like maybe some of these firebenders were at the North Pole. They're like, they have a different kaiju.
Yeah, that is. I put like a huge seaweed, buddy. That is a kaiju seaweed.
Yeah.
God damn. We see Sokka, Katara's dad. He got hurt.
Yeah, they're doing cool stuff. They're taking out these big like towers on the mountainside. And Sokka and Katara take one down, and their dad takes one down, but gets like injured in the process. So it's a tough battle.
Tough. Sokka will lead the invasion force since his dad
Yep.
is hurt.
This is his time. What we talked about earlier, where will
The
Sokka
moment
have
for-
his moment? This is his moment to lead the rest of the force.
That's a good callback. And we haven't heard Yep Yep in a while.
That's true.
Aang went to the main Fire Nation
To the
palace,
palace. Yeah.
and no one's there.
He busts in the front door, says, "Ozai, I'm here to fight you." Empty. Everyone's gone.
That's the end of part 1.
Yeah, I think the end, like the actual end of part 1, is he goes back to the rest of the group, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, Ozai's gone, he's not there. And then wait, no. I was wrong. This is the start of the next part. The start of the next part is Aang flies back. I just like I said, I have it open, I just saw it. Start of the next part is he flies back and he says, Ozai's gone. I don't know what to do. And everyone's like, well, he's probably still around here somewhere. So let's try to find him. So they use Toph to like scope out for underground tunnels. They find some. And that's the next plan, is we got to get to Ozai right when the eclipse hits, because the eclipse has not hit yet. I made a point to note they were doing so well, and the eclipse hadn't even hit yet.
Not yet.
So they're doing great.
They're going through. So they went underground, right? So the floor is lava.
Oh, that show on Netflix?
They have 3 seasons now.
That's crazy.
It's a bad show.
It's not great. Although I will say I watched a couple episodes when it first came out in season 1. And I will say that I do really appreciate that once a contestant falls into the lava, that we just never see them again. Like they're actually dead.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's like a 90s Nickelodeon show. The only one thing I hate about it is the host. His voice is very annoying.
I don't even remember. I don't remember those.
Oh. But yeah, the floor is lava. The gang is about to face the Fire Lord Ozai, but Azula is there.
Yeah. So it's at this point. So yeah, they're looking for Ozai. They find Azula. But then at the same time, the door to Ozai's little room that he's in opens up, and there's Zuko.
Yeah.
So Zuko is facing off with his Ozai for some reason.
Yeah. Also, everyone is putting their eclipse glasses.
Yeah. Don't look at it.
Don't look at it. I did it when it happened here.
Yeah. You looked right at it with no glasses. You can seriously, whatever. I don't know. You're fine.
I'm good. I'm good.
You could have not been. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I could have been a bloodbender.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Zuko meets his dad. Zuko spilled the beans.
Yeah. So he says like, the eclipse has started. There's no bending right now. You're going to listen to what I have to say. And Ozai starts talking all that shit where he's like, you had to wait until I couldn't bend to talk to me? This should be interesting. And Zuko's like, shut the fuck up for a second and listen.
Yeah. Yeah, he speaks his mind.
He says, number 1, Avatar's still alive.
Yeah.
And I love that to Ozai, that was a genuine shock. Like he genuinely didn't know.
Guess not.
What? That Avatar's still alive. He's probably the one invading you right now, if you think about it.
Mhm.
Number two, it wasn't even me that almost killed him. It was Azula. So deal with that.
Yeah.
Number three, I'm out of here. I'm leaving, and I'm probably gonna go help the Avatar because I hate you and
Yeah.
you're evil.
Yeah. Zuko is finally speaking the truth about the Fire Nation because Fire Nation is all lies. They're all lying to you.
Yeah.
Um, on Aang's side, they're facing Azula, and Azula has their Dai Li agents
Yep.
with her.
She brought some Dai Li fuckboys with her.
I guess so.
Uh,
Uh,
so it becomes apparent fairly quickly because they're trying to attack Azula and she's just dodging and running because she can't bend. And the Dai Li are like slowing them down. And they realize they're like, wait a minute, Azula's just wasting our time.
yeah.
She's trying to distract us and keep us busy until the eclipse is over so we can't get to Ozai. And Azula's like, no, I'm not. They're like, yes, you fucking shut up.
she was playing hide and explode.
Oh, yes, she was. Very good.
Azula talked about Zuki.
Ooh, yeah.
Not gonna like that.
They were like, we're just gonna leave you behind, Azula, because you suck. And she says like, my favorite prisoner used to talk about you, Waterbender boy or Water Tribe boy. And then Sokka lost his shit and wanted to find out where Suki was, and she was not spilling those beans.
Meanwhile, when these two storylines were happening, the war, since the eclipse happened, the Fire Nation surrendered for a bit.
Yeah.
But back to Zuko, the big thing that he said is to his dad.
Oh yeah.
He is finally joining the Avatar. He knows his destiny now.
Yeah, he knows his destiny. That's exactly what he says, and that's really great. One thing that the Fire Lord throws back at Zuko is like, you're a traitor, and you should be banished again, just like I banished your mother.
Damn, man. Don't bring your mom
He
to
said
this.
he said your mama,
Yeah.
and Zuko's like my mama.
So,
And yeah, he basically said without saying it exactly. He basically said, when you were a little kid, your grandfather wanted you to fucking die, and your mother
hey,
said that she didn't want you to be killed in your sleep as you were a little boy, and so I told her, help me kill your grandfather and make me the Fire Lord, and that you can live and she can be banished somewhere. That's what happened, I guess. And Zuko is caught up in this the same way that Sokka is caught up with like the Suki thing. Zuko is caught up talking about his mom, and both Ozai and Azula are just running out the clock until the eclipse ends. And as soon as it does, Ozai is like, banishment is too easy for a traitor like you, and tries to hit him with the lightning. But
he lightning his son, man. Come
well,
on.
he tried, but Zuko, like an absolute pro, takes it just like Iroh showed him, shoots it straight back.
Yes, sir.
Boom.
That's what I wanted from season 2. Now I'm getting it. Now I'm getting the Zuko that I wanted.
Finally happening.
God. Took me 2 months. So when Ozai was talking about his mom, right? That means is Zuko's mom still alive?
Yeah, that's what he was saying, anyways.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Aang, yeah,
he knocked his dad on his ass.
he did. Good. I'm glad to see it. Should have done it a long time ago,
And then
but
he
he didn't
dipped.
know.
One thing we should also mention is when he was talking all that shit at Ozai, and he was like, I'm going to leave, I'm going to help the Avatar. He also said, and I'm going to free my uncle. My uncle's not even that fat. Stop calling him fat. And then, yeah, so he hits the lightning on him, and then to wrap up Zuko's thing, he does go to the prison where Iroh is, or where he was, because that place is torn apart, and he grabs the guard who's like beaten on the ground. He's like, "What happened here?" And the guard's like, "Oh, he beat my ass. He beat my ass so bad. He wasn't even fat. He's so ripped. He wasn't even fat the whole time. Oh God, he beat my ass." What a payoff.
That's great.
And so yeah, Iroh's gone. We don't know where he is.
Yeah, he escaped. Back to Aang. So it's not time for Aang to face the Fire Lord since the eclipse ended. So they are. I guess they're trying to escape as well. Aang, Katara is trying to slow down the fire blimps that came by.
Yeah, the blimps come out, and it's kind of a. This is the first time we've seen them actually use the blimps. It was teased in season 1, where they got the blimp, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna use this," but now they're full on using them, and it's kind of a like the Mechanist is like, "No, my inventions," and they've got some big ass airships.
They do, and they're bombing the invasion tribe or invasion squad.
Yeah, they everyone kind of dodges the bombs, but then the airships keep going to blow up the submarines. And it's here where it's very clear we've lost. The invasion failed because Azula knew, like, the reason they had answers for everything was because Azula knew months ago that this invasion was going to happen. So we've lost. What do we do? And Katara's dad is like, you guys go on Appa, take some of these younger kids, get out of here. We'll go to jail.
Yeah.
But it lived to fight another day.
Yeah, the adults and the kids will split up.
So they take the wheelchair kid. I don't remember his name.
I think his name is Willie, like from The Simpsons. Uncle Willie.
You just made that up really fast, and that's not even true. Are you saying wheelie? Abrar, that's offensive.
No, Willie.
I don't know.
The Scottish man.
This guy's not Drew McIntyre.
No, he's not.
Anyways, they take the wheelchair kid, and they take the Duke, who splits up from Pipsqueak. That's sad.
Yeah.
And they take Haru, and I'm like, no. Haru's got that mustache. He's a grown ass man. He doesn't need to come.
Yeah, man.
He can get arrested. All right, Haru can come.
Yeah.
And then they leave. It's very sad. But we've lost again. We're constantly getting our asses kicked here. But we escaped to fight another day, and someone's following us.
Someone is following their tail, and I'm not talking about Momo.
Ooh,
I am
talking about Sokka with his butt up in the air.
You saw it.
I saw it.
Zuko is following the I guess the kids. They're following the gang. I guess.
He's following the Avatar.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, that like he always does, but in a different motive.
Yep. And that puts us at the last episode we'll talk about for the day.
Yes. Episode 11 of season 3, the Western Air Temple. All right. They arrived to the Western Air Temple.
Interesting thing about this temple is it's like upside down.
Yeah. What
happened? I don't know exactly.
I don't think they explained it.
I think it's literally just built different. because we're people of the air, so we can fly up to those buildings. Why not? Who cares?
Yes. We do
'Cause
get a
it's not like everything's upside down.
No, there's some
There's
some
like
things.
statues that aren't.
Yeah. But we do get a flashback of young Zuko.
Yeah, very interesting. So clearly, this being the Western Air Temple, it's the closest air temple to the Fire Nation, which is why they came here just now. And clearly, this is like the first place Zuko came after his banishment. Like in this flashback, he still has a bandage over his eye.
Yeah.
So he just came straight here and is looking for clues about airbenders, I guess. And the flashback serves as juxtaposition between when his journey first started and I need to capture the Avatar, and what his goal is this time, which is I need to join the Avatar.
That's big. It's big coming from him.
Yeah.
Like literally season 1, he just wants the Avatar. Now he wants to help the Avatar.
So Aang is kind of at first hung up with so if you've ever like in school taken a test that you knew you probably failed,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, the grade posted, I can look at it, I'm gonna go do this instead over here first. Like you don't want to look at it. That's what Aang's doing right now. He's like trying to go off and explore the thing and like play games or whatever. He doesn't want to talk about what to do next because he probably doesn't know what to do next. He's how many times can I lose and still like buckle down and do it? Like he's probably a little like scared to reevaluate that.
His track record is terrible.
He's just a kid.
He's the Avatar.
He's the Avatar. It's not his fault.
That's true. It was like Jon Snow. He doesn't want to be the king.
It's true. I don't want it.
But he has to be.
It's true. So meanwhile, Zuko is practicing introductions.
Yes, he is trying to convince the group that he wants to be part of the group, but he was talking to a frog.
One of my favorite memes of the entire show. Hello, Zuko here.
Yes. He came by and he said that. That's yeah, I guess that's one of the biggest memes I think. At least for you.
It's a good one. I like it. Yeah, he attempts to introduce himself to the group. Says, "Hello, Zuko here." And nobody's happy to see him except for one person. Appa.
Yes, he licked him.
Appa is like, it's this guy. He's all right. Because he's freed him in Ba Sing Se.
Yes. In season 2.
An act of pure goodness that almost killed Zuko.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. If I'm Katara, Aang, Sokka, this guy has been following us and ruining our lives.
This is
Why would you trust him?
This is one of our oldest ops. Like, what's he doing here?
Yeah. But the thing is, Aang needs a fire-bending teacher.
Yeah. The problem with Zuko's introduction is he is so nervous. He does not sell himself well.
Terrible.
He just says, "I'm here and I'm better now, and I could teach him firebending because he needs to do that. And I promise I'm not evil. And I saved your bison that one time. That's cool. I'm sorry." And he just smiles, and everyone's like, "Get the fuck out of here! you, what are you doing?"
Yeah, he left. Toph said he wasn't really lying. He was being very genuine.
Yeah, she believed him.
I think the best line of Toph's here is her line of her saying, "I'm beginning to wonder who's really blind. Who's really the blind one here?"
She's speaking hard truths.
Yeah.
So Zuko goes back to his frog, who I'm glad the frog didn't leave him. He needs somebody in these hard times.
Did the frog have a name?
No.
Toad.
Yeah, Willie.
Willie. Um, but Toph.
Oh, yeah. One of the things that see, Zuko may have stood a better chance at getting someone to listen to him if he hadn't accidentally let slip that he hired Combustion Man to kill them. That was kind of a big oops.
It was.
So everyone's kind of standing around talking about what do we do with Zuko? He's just around here somewhere. What do we do about that? And Katara's like, I think we should murder him. No, that's not what she says, but
No.
that's the vibe she's carrying.
Mhm.
And Toph is like, I think we should hear him out. And they all tell Toph to shut the fuck up.
Damn.
And that's when she says the blind thing that you said.
Yeah.
So Toph goes off with the intention to talk to Zuko. She kind of sneaks up on him in the night. He wakes up scared because, to be fair, he did just threaten the baddest man in the world and throw lightning in his face.
Yeah.
So he wakes up, gets scared, throws a little fire, and we got to talk about him again. Toph's feet get burned.
Yeah, I got burned. Her feet got burned from Zuko's firebending, and she's like, "Man, why?" And she left.
Yeah, she said, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
They were right about you. She scrambles away, and his exact line is he hits the ground. He says, "Why am I so bad at being good?"
That's a good line. Yeah, the Toph came by to the group and like, yeah, Zuko burned my feet.
Yeah, it's at this point where everyone starts talking about Zuko like a pest they now need to exterminate, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
They're like, he's a problem. He's around here and he's hurting people. We just need to kill him. Luckily, somewhat luckily, Combustion Man has tracked them down here, and Zuko runs up and says, like, stop, don't do it. I'm the one that hired you. I'm not gonna pay you if you do it. Don't do it. I'll pay you double if you don't do it. And this dude ain't listening.
No.
He's no longer in it for the money. He's in it for the love of the game. He
Yeah.
wants to kill the Avatar now. So Zuko's trying to fight him for a second. He kind of handles Zuko real easy though. Like throws him off the cliff. The gang has to fight this combustion guy now, and leave it to good old Sokka to use fine weaponry and mathematics to destroy the enemy. He throws the boomerang in the perfect angle, hits him right in the eye. He tries to spark up, and he just explodes.
Yeah,
Like,
he's exploded.
he's gone. Gone. He is unalived.
He's gone. Zuko came to the group and just asked one more time, like, I can be Aang's teacher. If you guys
Yeah.
just hear me out, I'm good.
He sells himself better this time.
Yeah.
He said, listen, I'm sorry. I know I'm not good at this, but he needs a fire teacher, and I can do that. And I just need you to give me a chance. And Aang says yes, and Sokka's like, whatever, and Toph is like, yes, and Katara's like, whatever. And so he's like, oh, thank you so much. Sokka awkwardly shows him to his room for the night.
Yeah.
And then Katara comes in and, as she does, stands on business and says, "You fuck up one time. You're late to one meeting. I will murder you with water."
Damn. Well, hey, she's a bloodbender now, so
Yeah,
watch out.
She'll make him bloodbend right off a cliff.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but this is time. This is the time for Zuko to show that he is a good person.
Well, with Katara specifically, so like Sokka's a goofball, and he doesn't like anybody when he first meets them, so he'll get over it. Aang is very much in his nature to follow destiny, and it's something that Zuko even said, where he said, I, as a firebender, I didn't mean to hurt your friend, and I should be more careful with fire to not hurt people, which harkened back to season 1, where Aang accidentally burned Katara, and that's where Aang is like, oh shit, this guy is my destiny teacher. But Katara, she fell for Zuko's stuff in the last season.
Yeah.
And because of that, she is not willing to play ball right now at all.
Yeah, I think I mean, she sees his BS, but this BS is not BSing. So
Yeah, it's real this time.
yeah. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. But we do get a flashback of Iroh,
Yeah.
right? He was just,
yeah.
what did he say? He said, like, you know,
it was something along the lines of like, you'll never know where your journey will take you, alluding to the fact that I mean, Iroh is known since day one that capturing the Avatar is never what Zuko needed to do.
Yeah. It's like Thor. He doesn't need a hammer or the Mjolnir. He had the power with himself.
Mjolnir.
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 Thank you. Sound like Walter Jr.
All right, that's offensive.
It is. I'm sorry. I apologize. Or Hodor. But I can say that because I mess up saying jacuzzi. It's fine.
Sure, this is the ableist episode of the podcast.
But yeah, that's the end of this episode. I do have an interesting fact here. I'm not sure it happened during the writer's strike or maybe it was after, but this was the first episode to be aired after a 8-month hiatus.
2008. Yeah, it must have been. Well, I don't know if it was. Here, let's check the timeline on that. Actually,
episode 11 or Western Air Temple.
2007 to 2008. Yeah, I think that's correct.
What about the months?
That must have been the reason. It just so happens that it works as because the Day of Black Sun was like a mid-season finale.
Yeah.
So that worked out fairly well. But from November 5th, 2007 to February 12th, 2008 was the writer's strike.
Okay.
So
and this episode,
that one would have been done by November, and then they came back in July. So I don't know if it was because of it, but it's the same time.
Yeah, December 14th, 2007, it came out.
I guess almost certainly it was because of it, actually.
All right. Well, next time Yes, I think they did, right? Didn't they?
Well, in that strike in particular, apparently not good enough because we did it again.
Yeah, that's true. All right. That is for this episode. The next time we'll see you guys or hear us will be between episodes 12, 13, 14, 15, and then after that is the finale.
Yeah. We're 16, I think. We've got 2 more episodes of the podcast left to cover Avatar. The next episode will be the rest, everything leading up to the finale, and then our final episode will be the finale, which is 4 episodes. It'll be one big ass movie.
It should be in theaters, at least for the finale.
Yeah, I agree. It should have been.
Well, for that reason, I was gonna say for that reason I'm out, just like Shark Tank. But Skylar, where can they find you?
Um, I no, I don't have one this time. I normally I don't skip me.
Okay.
What an awful outro.
That's
I
okay.
couldn't think of something funny. You can't find me anywhere.
You can find Skylar at
Don't do it.
at Aang's at Aang's nightmares. One of those nightmares.
Ooh. Where can they find you, bro?
Yeah. Oh, thank you for asking. You can find me at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the iHeartRadio. Of course, I have an Instagram page called Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. You can follow me there. I just post clips. I in a recent clip I said Manu Ginobili is the greatest, not greatest, but I would start him over LeBron James and Steph Curry. If you don't agree with that, please comment. I want to know your opinion. But until then, uh, stay flaming,
Oh, we're doing that again.
I guess.
Flamio Hotman.